to the Indie Wrestling Guy with your hosts, the Hall of Fame referee, Jay Hawk, the not-so-mysterious benefactor, JGold, and the legendary Charly Butters.
And we're back, and Jay Hawk is gone again.
He's gone. He flew again. Jay Hawk, sometimes the Hawk's got to fly.
He is still having some trouble with his ears and stuff, so he opted out tonight. But he did give us his Zach's match game match idea. So
I need to know who won last week too. Did he tell you who won last week?
He did tell me who won. Okay. He told me that in his mind, what I thought of was very close to what he thought of. However, he was informed that JGold, you won last week per his wife. So
yes, Mrs. Rubber City Toys. She is all about it. Thank you. That was great. I thought it was a great idea. So anyway, I'll take the victory this week, and I'll get to go last because, that's how those rules work. So today I was in Brooklyn, and just to give you a little heads up, because I'm going to Brooklyn for that AIW show in June for the movie, and I'm probably going to Brooklyn for that new produce card that's coming out. But it took me 2.5 hours to go 23 miles. I live 23 miles from Brooklyn. It took me 2.5 hours to get home. What an absolute mess. And yesterday, Butters, the flag football team, the girls' flag football team, we lost again 20-12, and we were up 12-6. And unfortunately, my child, who was QB1, threw a pick on the 2-yard line, and they scored the very next play. And then they hit the 2-point conversion, and we never recovered from there. So I got to teach her how to have a thick skin and shake off those plays and get back at it. But yeah, that was a tough one. That was a tough one to swallow this week. Man.
Yeah, we had the show Saturday. Turnout was excellent. We had about 300 people.
Yeah.
It was standing room only. Great show. All the matches were awesome. Sid Von England picked up a victory over Jeff Steele. So he is undefeated in Neopro currently.
Did you ask him if he wanted to come back on?
Would love he to does want to come back on.
Oh, good.
It's just hard to get him to kind of schedule things. Like he's a busy man.
I love Sid. I want to hear more about what he's been up to.
Oh, well, yeah. So speaking of, he did confront Zay after Zay's match.
Yeah.
Demanding, that he gets a title shot, and Alonzo Cruz and Jeff Steele kind of stood up to him and said, hey, we have unfinished business, find a tag partner, and we'll see you next month. So that's going to happen before Sid gets his title match. I think there's going to be, I'm not too sold on Sid. Sid's had 2 title matches and has lost both of them. So I don't know if I want to give Sid another title match.
Yeah, you can't suck, Sid. You got to win the belt if you're going to be in the match.
He's won 3 matches in a row, but I mean, I don't know. He used the GTS in a match in his match on Saturday, and I hate that. He calls it the go to Sydney.
Oh,
and I don't like it. I think it sucks. I hate when wrestlers used to go to sleep. I mean, his version isn't bad. It's just I don't like it.
It's a really hard move to make it to do to like look good.
Like when you're on the pre-show and you're busting out a GTS, and then you're busting out Kenny Omega's like running knee when they're on the middle rope. It's something for a pre-show match. You're busting out some super indie moves.
That suplex Mad Dog did to Zay was awesome. The one that you posted up on our Twitter.
Thanks to Paul for taking video. He also has video. There's also video of Mad Dog using the dog collar on Zay and doing a short arm clothesline with it that was really sick. Mad Dog also did that suplex from the top rope on Zay. Which it was disgusting.
That
match fucked real hard. We're going to do a music video of it, and it'll be out hopefully by early next month for everybody to check out. So very proud of it. Very happy with it, the way it came out. Mad Dog was very cool to work with. Everything went well. So excellent weekend. Then I celebrated with a little cookout at my aunt's or at my cousin's place. Had lots of good food on Sunday, and then
Is he cool, by the way, Mad Dog in person? Is he an interesting guy? Seems like an interesting guy.
yeah, him and Sid were swapping stories and stuff, and we were kind of sitting there talking and joking with him and stuff. And he's just not bad.
What's his story? Where did he train? Do you know where he trained?
I do not off the top of my head.
I'd love to find out more like about him. I don't know. All of a sudden he was like on the scene. He had those matches with Dom. He's like all over the place, and I feel like he kind of this in the last like 6-8 months got some real good visibility and became like what he is. And I saw him at that GCW show where he was bleeding all over the place. But you know, I don't know a whole lot about him, and that's something that I love when like guys come on the scene like that. So. He's on that show we'll be reviewing later, which was also a thing. Being
he started in 2018, so he's been wrestling for about 8 years. I here trying to see like what matches, like where he first appears on Cage Match. It seems like he first appeared on like some 01 USA Proving Ground stuff in Illinois.
Okay.
Where he first started showing up. So,
well, we'll find out that info and we'll get it for next week because I'm curious about him.
I mean, eventually we might even, if he decides he'd like to come on, I mean, we could always.
That would be awesome, by the way.
On too.
If you're listening, Mad Dog, we'd love to have you come on. I want to talk about your Tombstone Jesus match that you had that I was at. It was one of the most objectionable matches I've ever seen. So I'd love to see you come on and join us for that. Tombstone Jesus.
I want to know about his alternate name. He has an alter ego on Cage Match named Dan Liplock.
What?
Yes, I'm curious what that's about. That was like his.
Oh, he better come on. You better get on the phone and say to him, come on, we'd love to have you on. And next week we will talk to Mad Dog. And I got to hear some of this stuff.
I will send an email and see if he would like to come on and talk. Some wrestlers aren't about that. Like that's why we never had on Matthew Justice. He doesn't do podcasts. So same with Tom Lawler, or we would have had them on.
I asked Tom Lawler. He said I hate podcasts. Yep. I said all right. I don't like to bother Tom. He'll jump on to Alvarez's show though. What the hell, Tom?
But yeah, so
I'd have to beg.
Lots of stuff from this weekend. Lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that you were coaching flag football again. So are you guys? You didn't tell us last. I don't remember you telling us last week.
Yeah, we lost our first game 18-12, and then this week we lost 20-12. We were up. I swear this week we had them. We scored 2 touchdowns the first 2 drives. Right off the first play, I ran 2 reverses. They both scored. Then at halftime, so you're not allowed to blitz if you're in the red zone. So you have to be very careful where the ball is spotted. So I asked the ref, it's 5 seconds before halftime. I said, can we blitz? Are we in the red zone? He said, you are not in the red zone. The first play, we don't blitz. The girl drops the ball in the end zone. We have a second down. It's 5 seconds left. We blitz. We knock the ball down. We have them run around. The half is over. No. The referee on the other side of the field said they were in the red zone. That's a penalty. You're offsides because you blitzed, and they gave him another play and they scored a touchdown. Now I said the other guy across the field just told me that we are not in the red zone. He goes, no, that was a couple plays ago. I go, what play did they get 2 yards to get in front of the red zone that we couldn't blitz? I'm like, I don't have any idea what you guys are talking about. They screwed me. And so this referee, apparently everybody has problems with because he really doesn't pay attention. And we ended up getting a penalty and they scored on that play. That brought us to 12-6 at halftime, and they had the ball to start the second half. It killed me. I've been upset about it for 2 days. So
sounds like that referee fucked on you, brother.
Well, you can't get upset or anything. Like I can't really get in front of people. Like I can't get myself all worked up. So I don't.
You shouldn't. But you know what you should do is you should take your gremlin of a brother and you put him outside waiting for the referee to come out, and then he beats the shit out of him with the baseball bat.
Since nobody knows who he is, right? No. Nobody knows that he doesn't look like me or anything, so they could have him go out there. He
looks like a little hobgoblin.
Serve some justice, if you will.
From Burlington or something. That's where he's probably from.
He'll serve some justice and
Yeah,
see what happens.
with a baseball bat, some fucking Goodfellas style.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. But anyway, so that one killed me, and then I had to drive hours from Brooklyn today. So I get to sit in the car with those thoughts for 2 days. So that's lovely.
So I had to get up, work at 5 this morning. Worked all day, came home. Well, I had to stop, mail off trading cards for Peapod and for Mad Dog, because I told them I had the beginning of my Saturday was fucking awful. So I slept in, which was nice. I was able to sleep in a little bit, but I got up, got my I had my case all ready and everything. I'd moved all my card stuff to a suitcase. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Put it in the car, put the big IW Guide banner in the car. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna stop, get some food. I'm gonna go to Staples and pick up my 8x10s that I had done of Zay. Then I'm gonna head out to the show. So I go stop at Popeyes to get some wings for the road, some boneless wings. I could just pop them while I'm driving. Stop over at Staples, and the first problem happens. They're looking everywhere. They can't find my 8x10s that I dropped off the night before. They told me it would be ready by noon the next day. They tell me, oh, well, it's in the batch that should be done between 2 and 3 o'clock, and we can do them right now, but it'll be an hour for them to be ready. And I was like, in an hour, I'm going to be in Akron. I was like, I don't have time to wait. So no 8x10s for Zay.
Oh.
So I get in the car and I head out to Akron. And as of this recording, today they sent me a message saying my photos were finally ready. So they weren't even ready later that day. They weren't ready later the next day. They took them 3 days to do them.
Yeah.
And at this point, I really didn't fucking need them. So I'm just like, they can sit there until I decide to go pick them up. I was like, I'm not fucking rushing to pick them up. And if they throw them away, then they can refund me my money. I really don't care at this point.
Yeah.
So I get to the show. I get all my stuff set up, talking to Will. We're having a good time. I get my table all set up, looking nice. I'm like, okay, let me get these cards out so I can get them for CJ. Go to pull them out. Forgot every single box of cards for the talent that needed them. So Trey Lamar didn't have his. CJ didn't have his. Mad Dog didn't have his.
Oh my God.
They were all sitting in a box here at home that I literally looked at when I walked by and was like, no, I got everything in my bag because I pre-packed it. And I swear to God, I put them in there, but I did not. So I had to mail them out today. For Mad Dog and CJ. Luckily, surprise, Dom was at the show, so he actually was able to sign what I needed him to sign.
That's great.
Yeah, which made me happy. And then I talked to Isaiah Broner a couple days before, and he told me, yeah, I'll send some signed cards with Joss. So I go to talk to Joss. I'm like, hey, did Isaiah give you cards? And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, he didn't give me anything. So I'm like,
oh my God.
So, and
Broner.
Zay gave her the cards for Josh Bishop too. So I don't have his cards, and he's going to be coming to Neopro again here soon. And so I told him I would get him his cards at Neopro. So I'm hoping I can get whoever has them to bring them so I can get them to Josh when he comes to Neopro. So yeah, they
wrestlers. What in the world?
It's hurting fucking cats, brother.
Wrestlers and promoters.
Fucking cats.
Well, you forgot yours, and they don't have the other ones.
No, and then
so you're both at fault.
It was a giant fuck up, man. And then I was just not having a good day, and I was like, my luck, fucking Mad Dog is going to email me and be like, car broke down, ain't going to be there. So luckily, I was like, all right, I'm going to go check into the hotel because I had to, go check it in and stuff because it's under my name. So I go check in the hotel. I get back, and they're like, oh, Mad Dog just walked in. He's looking for you. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go out, we meet, we talk. Everything's cool. So I was like, all right, at least that's going right. And the rest of the day went good. So I was like, okay, at least. But I was like, to start it off with, I was getting more and more fucking angry. And they're like, oh, well, you could just drive back home and get them and come back. You still got time. You still got a couple hours before the show starts. And I'm like, I'm not driving an hour home and then an hour back. I was like, there's no fucking point. Like, yeah. I'm not wasting a tank of gas on that. I was like, I'll just fucking mail them. It'll be cheaper than a tank of gas.
How far is it from your house?
It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
No, you
man.
can't do that.
Yeah,
no, you can't.
It was, so I was
That would have
like,
been okay if you like remembered halfway through and you were like,
Right.
fuck, that's
Right.
fine. But to go all the way back is not worth. That's a 2.5 hour round trip again.
Yeah. And I was just like, fuck it, I'll just mail them, and it'll cost me like $16 to mail the shit out, and that's what it did. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Jeez.
so I did that, and then I came home and like I had ordered a bunch of stuff because I got my income tax, and I was like, I there's a lot of stuff I needed to like fix up the house.
Yeah.
So I had to get like toilet paper roll holders that like
You putting those things in yourself?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I did it all myself.
Good.
I have a level and everything, so I made sure they were level and like, and it's got like a little holder on top for your phone. So I got like 2 of those for a decent deal. Then I got these square like holders for like like a hand towel to wash after you wash your hands. So I got 2 of those. I had to put those in. And then I got this new cat water dish that like registers, like it tells you when it needs the filter changed, tells you how much she's drinking, the whole 9 yards, and it's like really big, so like I don't have to change it as often as I do her other one. And her other one has like 10 filters and shit, and it's a giant pain in the ass. My cousin's girlfriend got this thing and was like, yeah, this is the best thing ever, and she has 3 cats and it works great for her. So I was like, well, my one cat will probably love this. So I set that up. I set all that up. Like I did all that. And then I'm like trying to watch the show that we're going to review this week. And it was a little bit of torture to get myself through. Like I really just wanted to go to sleep.
I feel it. Saturday, my wife went to go take a shower. She turns the handle and the water just starts squirting out of one of the handles. So now I got to have a plumber come, of course. So that's going to be fun. Living in houses and stuff you own sucks. It honestly sucks. That reminded me of that. Now that you told me you were putting
I'd
up
be in
stuff.
trouble if something like that happened, because I don't know like where my water shutoffs even are in the house.
I didn't know it. That when we first moved in, the guy who put the water line to the refrigerator for the ice maker, he attached it to a bent pipe. So 3 weeks into us living here, the clamp slipped off the pipe. And water was everywhere, shooting out of the ceiling because that's where the pipe was, into the basement. I had no idea where the water valve was. I had to call a neighbor and go, where's the water? Find something. A neighbor had to come over and tell me where it was.
Yeah, so, I have no idea where my hot water heater is. I don't know where like the water shut off is for this. So I'm like, fuck if something like that happens.
They didn't show you where the hot water heaters run to?
Nobody showed me shit.
You got to ask whoever you got to ask the people at the in the front area or whatever.
Well, I have like
a management company.
Yeah, but they don't know anything about like the models, different models of homes and stuff. I can just look up the model and it should tell me where it is.
Or just go digging around until you find it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy Matt, we keep doing that. We keep wandering around looking at stuff and like, oh, I gotta repair that. Oh, I should fix this. Like adding to the list. But yeah, let's talk about some other stuff. Let's get into shout outs. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Paul. Shout out to Bagelmonger. I heard everybody really enjoyed the ETU review that we did. MJ said that she listened to our review of her match, but she didn't listen any further. So I told her you have to go further because you gave her design ideas for her singlets. So she said she will go back and listen to that because she says she has like a couple different colors already. She has like a pastel one and some other stuff. And we came up with like an idea, like instead of her coming out with a Snuggie, maybe she comes out with like an actual like a track jacket with the towel, kind of like, and pull the whole Josie look from the 90s off. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
that would be super cool.
Yeah,
with the singlet and everything.
Got to tuck the towel in underneath the collar.
Yes.
Yeah, that works.
That would be super cool. We kind of like, that was something that got kicked around at the show. But yeah, so
I thought we liked the ETU show. We gave Marcus Mathers he needs to be able to take a little bit of a beating.
Right. No, we did. That's that. I mean, I'm saying everybody said they really enjoyed it. Like even like ETU retweeted it and they seemed to enjoy it. And I was giving Bagel a bunch of shit about like we said about like why did they go 19 something minutes in a 20-minute time limit match and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, like we gave him quite a beating.
Yeah.
But it was fun. Also, shout out to Patty.
Hi, Patty.
Uh, I didn't realize the video that you sent us last week. The guy was not wearing underwear, and you
No.
could see everything.
Yes.
As he was getting his shit stomped on.
I told you.
I just copy and pasted it and sent it to Patty when she asked about it. And I realized what it was, and I was like, oh my God. Why did JGold send me this in the first place? Like, how did he find this? Why is it at least not censored? Like, they were just straight tugging on it, man. Like they tugged it like a foot off of his body. Like,
the music made it so much better. Didn't the music make it so much better?
It was awful all the way around. The music just didn't even hear any music at that point. It was just awfulness.
It's the wake me up before you go stuff.
Jitterbug. My God.
Just the jitterbug.
So she saw that, and that's
so
that's
good.
The thing that happened.
Sorry, Patty. Sorry. That's your fault. You should edit it. You should have looked beforehand. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't want to watch cock and ball torture. It's not my fetish, JGold.
I don't know why I think it's so funny. I laugh at it every time I see it. I can't help it. Right up there with the good fart joke. Anyway.
Speaking of
we gotta
fart
do
jokes,
what's on this week.
Speaking of fart jokes, before we get into what's on, let's do match game this week.
Yeah.
Zach's match game. Your Indian food diarrhea idea was the winner.
Yes.
Even though Zach said that he had more of an idea similar to mine with everything, his wife said that technically you won because I guess poop
she thinks
is
it was
funny.
Funnier. Yeah, exactly. It's funny.
So now we are 1-1.
1-1-0. Jayhawk is still not 1-1.
Jayhawk is not 1-1. He is not here this week, but he has sent me his match idea for this week's match stipulation, which is a spring allergies match. So I will read his first. Then you can go, Josh, and then I will go last. Okay. Jayhawk says, spring allergies match. We place a giant thermos of some purple colored beverage on a pole with a giant handwritten sign that says Claritin. The winner is the one who retrieves the bottle of Claritin and forces his opponent to drink it.
Well, that would clear up the allergies. So that would be, if you lost, you actually won. So Jayhawk, that's what I think. I think this would be better. Everyone in a match has to take Benadryl, and they have to wrestle a clean match before it takes over, and they're too sleepy and drowsy to wrestle safely. And you get a time limit because, Benadryl takes about 10, 12 minutes.
What if that's the finish is like the one person's down on the ground and the other guy just falls asleep on him and gets the pin?
That would work. Just kind of passes out right on top of him. That works.
So my idea is the match will take place outside in a venue, I would say probably in like a overgrown field, maybe with like it trimmed down, like kind of like a Field of Dreams style, where like there's no crowd, so it's just like the ring is, and it's the around ringside is cut grass, so you get that smell and the allergy, and then there's also like all the weeds and like the other flowers and stuff around where the crowd would be, and that's not cut, and that's like, so it's like the wind's blowing it, and there's stuff in the air. And then it's two guys, and the winner is the loser is the first one that sneezes.
That sounds like a nightmare to have to sit through that. Imagine being the announcers, your nose is all stuffed up and you're trying to call.
Well, that's the great thing is that it's, you just set up the cameras and then it's done remotely. So you're in a studio in air conditioning watching those wrestlers do that, and you don't have to do any of that.
I think it would be more fair if everyone has to be there. If they have to be there, so do you. Like,
no, that's that's the whole thing, is that it's for them, not for everybody to deal with. It's just for the wrestlers and their allergies.
Just stupid idea. Zach, what the hell, man? What are you even thinking about when you're coming up with these nonsense?
My secondary idea for this, my secondary one was that it's mixed with a bag over your head as well. And then you have to try to find your opponent with the bag over your head. So like the sneezes and coughs from your allergies would like give your sound away to where you are in the ring. So
And you have to sneeze and cough in a bag while
yes,
That
which is super gross.
disgusting.
Yes. Well, obviously the heel would take it off and cheat the whole time. So while the referee is busy,
the referee should wear like those masks, right? Those
the
COVID
referee
masks?
would be in like the bomb suit so that he didn't get any pollen on him. But some would get in there and then he would be like his mask would fog up so he couldn't see, so that the heel could cheat is what would happen.
Oh, I like the heel by accident unzippers him while he's playing. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's a fun idea.
So that's like my second idea, but the first one, the Field of Dreams, the Field of Allergies match, basically.
And every time they do a move, you see that pollen puff up off the ring.
Yeah, the pollen comes up off the ring. Yeah, that would be sick.
Gross. Yeah.
It'd be sticking to them and stuff. Oh, while they get all sweaty. Oh, it'd be awful.
That is gross. Yeah.
What's on this weekend?
All right. What is on this weekend, JGold?
All right. On Indie Wrestling, we got the Saturday, May 2nd at, it looks like, 7 o'clock. We have Blitzkrieg Pro presents It Was Never Just a Phase. And that is going to be Angelo Carter versus Perry Von Vicious. Amity Lavie versus Nikki Winters versus Notorious Mimi versus Milo versus Corin Joy. Bobby Orlando and the Headbangers versus Leary, Andy Brown, and Logan Black. CPA versus Ox Adams. Devious Cast versus Sammy Diaz. TJ Crawford versus Becca. Oh my goodness. Blitzkrieg Pro Tag Championship 2 out of 3 falls. Ancestral City Shooters versus Dolphin Funeral. And then the Bedlam Championship, Charles Mason versus Javi. And that is all on Saturday on the Independent Wrestling Television Network from the East Mountain Country Club in East Mountain in Westfield, Massachusetts.
I'm going to go with Friday, May 1st at 11 p.m. Hog, Glory at the Globe.
Oh.
Which will feature the Crown Jewel Championship. Zilla Fatu defending against Lance Ananoa.
Oh, I'm out.
Speedball Mike Bailey against the Amazing Red. The Unstoppable Thunder Rosa makes her highly anticipated appearance at the Globe. Which that sounds like it's the place. Yeah, that's okay. The Globe Theater in Los Angeles. So Hog is running the old PWG building.
Oh yeah,
the big theater that they ran in when after the other place got tore down. So yeah, so it looks like Speedball will be there against Amazing Red. Thunder Rosa will be there, and Zilla Fatu will be in action. So
the place that killed PWG, and they're going to be in there.
Charles Mason's also on the poster.
He's on he's wrestling on Saturday night in Massachusetts.
Well, this is a Friday, so
this is Friday. Wow, okay. He's going back and forth. Yeah. He's going coastal. All right.
Yep, there you go. There's also a GCW show on Friday, but I felt like I always do GCW, so I want to do something different.
Yeah, that's Triller for you.
All right, let's get into this week's review.
Okay.
Doing a review.
So before we fully get into this, I do want to take a second to say we are friends with the promoter of this promotion, Matt Griffin. We do sponsor the company. We have our logo on their ring skirt, including our new logo. It has been updated, nice. And I don't know if that's debuted yet. We'll have to check it out next week because we are going to give them a do-over because the show was unfortunately very, very bad and very hard to watch.
We'll get to it.
And on paper, it looked great.
Yeah.
Everything, I was excited for it. I was like, this show's going to fucking rock. And my first inkling that something was wrong was I was talking to Dominic Rini and he said the venue that was used for some of these shows was so awful that he couldn't watch it. And I said, oh no, that's really weird because Dom is, a big wrestling fan and I couldn't believe that he couldn't watch a wrestling show. So I was worried.
And you get the double whammy to start. You get the issues with the internet in the building. You get the low boy ring and the size of the ring. So I guess everyone who was working that place was using the same ring. It was this tiny low boy ring. And it just was not, it wasn't ideal. The sound was, it was like everyone was wrestling in a bowling alley Like the ring was the most loudest thing that the cameras picked up. Every time it switched from hard cam to side cam, we lost the announcers.
And then they fixed that. They had everything fixed at one point.
Yeah.
Like right after Mance Warner's match, everything was working. Like everything started to, like the audio was good. It wasn't like blown out. Everything sounded good. Like the background audio was fine. And then the 6-way started, and it all went back to dog shit again. It just sounded like you were in a bowling alley again.
Yeah.
And it was just awful all over again. I was like, what happened? They had it fixed, and it just like reset itself back to fuck off, basically.
Right.
So it was really rough. So yeah, the cam at ringside was picking up all the audio of everybody talking in the ring.
Right. If you like being at a wrestling match that close.
Loud, yeah. And then you couldn't hear the commentators. Then when it would switch back to the other one, the commentators were like real light and soft on the hard cam, and it was really bad. And you could forgive a lot of it. Like shit happens.
There was our pal Jack Solomon on commentary too. I felt bad. I couldn't hear Jack, and I really wanted to hear him because it would have made it that much better if we could have heard some of the setup and everything. Most of it was very, very difficult. Very difficult. So let's kick this thing off.
Let's kick it off. Action Wrestling. We gambled away the graphics budget.
And the tech budget and the commentary budget and the camera and the technology budget.
Yeah, the guy that was supposed to run all the stream was gambling. He wasn't there. He was down the street at the Hard Rock or whatever is out there. I don't know. I don't go to Vegas. So it took place in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Swan Dive Arena. Calculated attendance maybe 150.
Yeah. It got bigger as the show went on. Like that by the time that 6-man tag match it was pretty full in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we started off with The Good Hand, Casey Owens and Shug D with Tyler Stevens against Unsigned Don't Cares, Aaron Williams and Gary J. And they spent like the whole time just yelling at Casey Owens and like accidentally hitting him and beating him up. And then they like out of left field, they hit like a version of the total elimination and won.
Yeah, this was a mess. This match was a mess because the ring was so small that and Gary works, the way Gary J works is he's like very whirling dervishy and he's all over the place. And you could tell he wanted to get going, right? Like you could see him wanting to move and move around, but there was just no room, and there was no room to have a match of that size in that ring. And that was the same with all of the tag matches, even the 6-man. There just wasn't the room for them to get done what they need to get done. I thought this match was a mess, and it just the way, because also you had the camera when they went to the side cam, the ring was so low and there was not enough room, so they're like filming from the guy's shoulders and up, so you're like, What am I watching? And you could hear everything, and everybody's talking and chatting.
The hard cam was like right up against there too, so it was like you couldn't see. Like you got like the fullish angle of the ring, but that ring was so small you could take like legit like 5 steps and be across the ring.
Yeah,
like,
and
it couldn't have been. It had to be like a 16 by 16 or smaller. I mean, it was fucking tiny.
And I feel bad for Matt because I'd love to ask him when you got there and looked at that, were you just like, oh no, there was just there's only so much you can do in that space. And I think it really hurt like the opener for it. So yeah,
I'm actually texting him right now. So the Good Hand picks up the win here against Unsigned Don't Care. And then we go from that to Mance Warner coming out and cutting a promo.
Now, this was the biggest buzzworthy event probably of through the indies, I would say. Mance coming out, cutting his promo on trying to get the title, right?
Right. He basically saying, the way he worded it, it was like, I'm an independent wrestler. I told TNA to fuck off. Like I want to be the independent wrestling champion. And then Cruel came out, Mance beat him with the chair for a couple of seconds. Cruel came out with no music, by the way.
Yeah, I thought maybe there was something broken because he came out with nothing.
Nope, came out no music. Mance Warner hit him with the chair a bunch of times and pinned him in 56 seconds to win the title.
Really weird. I understand. I think Cruel's probably had to get. You saw he had sent out an apology today, which was interesting. But
let's try not to get blackballed out of the
hole. And you know what? He's a nice enough guy. I mean, but waited a little too long for this to come out. I mean, it's weeks, but he did the right thing in the ring with the independent wrestling title. Mance beat him half to death, took the belt. You didn't even see Cruel's reaction. Mance took the belt and said, "I don't have a boss. You do. Tell your boss I'll defend this title anywhere, anytime, any show." And you know what? That would be really cool for Mance to go on almost like a Matt Cardona run where he's all over the indies and just takes that belt everywhere.
Mance Warner with the IWTV Independent Wrestling World title against Zay Garcia with the IW Guide World title. Let's go.
Brother, we don't have enough of funds to afford that match.
I think we do. I think you can afford it. Just put it on your black card, Josh.
Oh, my black card. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Does Mance take credit? Mance. What can I do?
Mance will take Cash App at the pay window. I think maybe.
Cash App, that works.
Yeah. So then the audio magically started working again. It was perfect. And then the 6-way scramble started and it went away. It just disappeared again.
I got to say, Jack, I needed you so bad for this 6-way scramble. It was like, you want to name who was in it? Or should I pull up the...
I can.
Yeah.
I did get a response from Matt. He said, I knew it was small. It was just way lower than I anticipated.
It was low. It was like wrestling on your bedroom floor, like type low.
Just wrestling on the ground in front of everybody.
Because at one point, the tall guy in good hand and the little fellow were standing next to each other, and he was on the ring apron, and the tall guy was still taller than him, and he was on the floor. So I'm not great with names on some of these guys, and I was just like, how low is the ring? The guy's right there. His face is like over the ropes.
So Tyler Stevens, who's a member of the Good Hand, also known as The Wall. When I saw The Wall was going to be in the match, I thought we were talking WCW. The Wall was very disappointed. He is. It was a joke, Josh.
Oh, I thought maybe he was alive.
Now Tyler Stevens is The Wall now. Apparently, he's a big, tall, gangly guy. Alexander Lev, Big Dave, Bobby Flacco, Landon Hale, and OXP.
Bobby Flacco. I feel like we hadn't talked a lot about him. He had a nice run when Jayhawk and I used to watch Action together. Yeah. I feel like I haven't seen him anywhere in a while, but he was there.
Down south because we don't talk about them, and that's where he wrestles.
Big Dave brought out the big belt.
Yeah,
Big South belt.
I know that's like their sister promotion, but I thought it was interesting that he brought the belt out with him in a match that it wasn't on the line for, and he didn't win the match. So
that's that's
usually not a thing you're supposed to do, from what I understand. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's but that's the thing about.
I have zero notes on this match, by the way.
I didn't think it was very good. It's okay.
This match sounded like a bowling alley. This is where the bowling alley thunder started.
6 guys in the ring at once.
Did not stop.
Yeah, and it's just the rumbling, and it just sounded like somebody was the entire time. This is what you were trying to watch through. Like, it just never stopped, and you're just like, can somebody just stand still for 3 seconds so I don't have to sound like I'm getting hit in the head over and over again?
Right. So at some point, I think I muted my television just to try to watch it without that, so I could at least focus on the match. And
I needed Jack so badly. I needed to hear Jack because I heard him when Mance won the title. I heard underneath all the screaming, because you could barely make him out, I heard him yelling, "Holy shit!" Like, you could hear Jack a little bit. And I needed a little bit of guidance from our announcers. It didn't help the 6-way. I couldn't follow, and it was a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 3 so far.
Up next for the action title, Darian Bankston versus Timothy Thatcher, and it was reffed by our friend Rosie the Ref.
And it was everywhere too. They went out into the crowd and they were chopping the crap out of each other. What does that mean? What were the rules? It was what were the steps in this match? Do you remember? That's why I always miss Jayhawk. Hold on, I'm getting it. It had some sort of rule. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm not doing you justice. Maybe we'll edit this once I find it. Yeah, here it is. So this match was Action wrestling. Oh, they don't give me the rules in this one. All right. Well, they were beating the crap out of each other with chops. This wasn't a bad match. It's so, again, the size of the ring, it was so hard. It's so hard to get momentum and like stop for a second while the guy's at the other side of the ring. So you gather and you get momentum off the ropes. They brought it out into the crowd a bit. There was a really good chop. Banks and chopped Thatcher, and Thatcher fell, and it just looked like he hit him so hard. It was a really good sell. I did not love the ending. Like a roll up, you're the champ, you should win decisively. But it is what it is. The match was not bad. And I just felt like, again, I think the ring was working against everyone tonight in this show.
Yeah, I think the ring was just, it did not help with anything. Like that was the biggest thing to overcome. There was like one match that like felt okay with the ring, the way that it was being used. And I actually kind of like got into the match a little bit, especially the ending stuff. And it just, it took a lot. It really took a lot. But Darian Bankston did defeat Timothy Thatcher in about 12 minutes to retain the action title.
Yep.
Up next, 6-man tag team match. This match sounded crazy. This was like a big reason why we wanted to watch the show. Priest, Fuminori Abe, Minoru Suzuki in a 6-man tag against Eric Stevens, Jonathan Gresham, and Zack Sabre Jr. And what did you think of the video of them having to go to the New Japan YouTube to play the video of Zack Sabre Jr.'s music?
Well, what happened? Well, no, they screwed up. And yes, you're right. They had to go to the website.
So I asked if that was if they purposely did that as a bit or if it was like legit, they just fucked up and I didn't get a response. So
between that and then when Adam Priest and Jonathan Gresham were in the ring and all the fans are chanting short kings.
Oh man.
And Jonathan Gresham is shorter than Adam Priest. And I was like, oh Lord, look at this. Look at this sight. You know what? That ring must have felt big for them because they're little.
Abe reminded me so much of what the hell's his name? The dude that wrestled Mike Awesome all the time.
Oh,
Masato Tanaka.
Tanaka, yeah.
I thought it was him for a minute.
So did I.
Wait, no, that's not. Oh, it's Fuminori.
Because Abe let his hair grow back. Yeah, he's normally bald.
Yeah, so he very much I don't know, maybe it's racist to say, but I feel like I don't think to me he just looked a lot like.
Well, look, it's flattery. And a lot of the Japanese wrestlers they choose to model themselves against, like, that's why every Japanese baseball player swings just like Ichiro or throws like Hideo Nomo, because they learn a certain way that is the right way and how they idolize these guys, and that's how they learn to do it. That's why his body looked just like, look at Miles Bourne on NXT and Randy Orton. Miles Bourne trained with Randy Orton. He looks exactly like him body wise. He does a lot of the same moves. It's just flattery, it's just kind of how they trained and looked. So
no.
Yeah, but this match was a little crazy. This is when the crowd filled in, so it really felt like they were all there to see that. And hell yeah, why wouldn't you want to be there to see Suzuki? I was actually stunned with how those guys were, how you had all 6 of those dudes in that little tiny ring to be able to do stuff.
I don't understand it, and this felt like it went by in a flash, and it was a 20-minute match, and I couldn't believe that it went by so fast. Like, it was... Yeah. I felt like I didn't even see Eric Stevens wrestle like the whole time. Like there's so much going on. I didn't even, I was like, whoa.
I think you're right, by the way. I don't remember seeing him actually do a whole lot in this match. I saw it was a lot of Zack Sabre Jr. and a lot of Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah.
So it was a good match. So this was fun. And this is exactly what Action needed. I wish they started to show off with this match.
Right. And it was Team Adam Priest that picked up the win by referee decision.
Yep.
Up next, Jameson Shook against Grayson Pierce.
It was fine.
Yeah, I don't have no notes on this one.
Yeah, I actually, this was the last 4 matches on here are like the most fresh in my mind, and this one and the next one were very similar matches, and I was just, they're fine.
I like the next match. Jameson Shook did go over Grayson Pierce in about 7 minutes. The next match is Tim Bosby against Danny Jones.
Tim Bosby's a big dude.
Tim Bosby really impressed me. Like it really picked up from the when after Tim hit the F5, and kind of from there on, like that match, it really felt really interesting to me, and like I was really focused on it for a pretty good chunk of time. So
Yeah. Tim Bosby's a big dude.
Yeah,
He's a big dude. I'd like to see more of him on the East Coast. I don't think I've ever seen him on the East Coast.
When they were first touting him and he had won the action title and stuff like that, I received a promo, like when he had first won the belt and stuff like that, and it was sent to like the IW Guide account, and I was like, is this a challenge to face the IW Guide champion? Because Tim Bosby against any IW Guide champion would be very interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a heck of he looks great. He's a heck, and Danny Jones was good too. I think if you skipped, you could have pulled the Jameson Shook match and just gave this one more time, and you would have had this card still. This would have been the end of the card would have worked out a lot better. I think. I feel like the last match felt very rushed, but we'll get into that as well. But yeah, this match was fun. It ended in a roll up with the handful of tights, which is what it is.
Yeah. Tim Bosby did go over Danny Jones in about 11 minutes. Moving on for the action tag team titles, top team Jay Lucas and Teriyaki go against our friends of the show, Danny Orion and Shimbashi, New Fever. And fun. This is a quick one. This was fun.
Of course it was. You have New York's own Teriyaki and and you have Shimbashi from one of our favorites, but the best part, I know it's the best part about this match is in the end, they do the finish and Teriyaki's going to go, I guess it was either Shimbashi or I don't know who was on the outside, but Teriyaki dives over the ring post out to the outside, I guess to hold him off on the pinfall.
Right.
And he just disappeared off camera. They didn't show it. He's gone. You heard someone go, oh, he dove to the outside. I guess he dove to the outside. I guess somebody grabbed him because you never saw him again. That was it. He dove out of the camera range, and that was the end of it. So it ended rather sudden, so to speak. And yeah, that was that.
All right. Yeah, so top team did pick up the win there, retain the titles in about 7 minutes. Up next, one called Manders versus Paul Walter Hauser. I did watch the majority of this.
Yeah.
Paul like running away from him. Smart move. Trying to stay away from him. But the ring was so small, like the finish, he just ate that fucking that lariat from Manders, and it was gross. And shout out to Paul for taking that fucking lariat. That thing was oof.
That dude got his ass kicked. Manders chopped the living Christ out of him, ripped his shirt off, chopped him. I think he must have chopped him about 100 times. And Paul Walter Hauser is a wrestler now. Like he's a wrestler. I wouldn't consider him just you know what? He's Mole Man, and that's great for me. And he's a lot of other things. But look, dude, I think he does great. I've never, and I don't know if you've ever heard anything. I've never heard anyone in the Indies say they have a problem with him doing what he's doing.
No, I mean, he like when we did our thing a few weeks ago where we picked our wrestlers we would have on our wrestling company if we started one, that all came from him because he was putting over everybody. So yeah, I mean, he's a big fan. He's shown it time and time again that he is all about this, and it's similar to the David Arquette thing where I think people are so more willing to give him the respect and not make it such a big deal because obviously he just hasn't won like a world title or anything. He's won some titles, but like he hasn't won like a world title of a company and that kind of thing that I recall. I know he won the Progress Proteus title. So and he held it for he's still the current champion. Yeah,
he's really good for wrestling. He is for independent wrestling. He is.
Yeah, and I would like to see him out this way. It'd be really cool if we saw him at like AIW or something. That'd be really cool if he came and wrestled at AIW.
Yeah, I'm surprised they never got him for that. I'm going to ask John about that. I'm surprised that never happened.
Yeah, I'm sure there's somebody he'd want to wrestle at AIW that we could make happen. Maybe put him against Broner.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be so good. God bless him.
Shit. And then we go into our main event of the evening. Carl Greco-Malenko against Mad Dog Conley. Short, sweet, to the point, 5-minute match.
I don't get
it. I think that at this point they were just like, let's just go home. I'm done. The show was whatever. Bye. Let's get out of here.
I don't get it. I don't understand. The Mad Dog didn't even get his chain out. If you went to go see him with his chain, you lose. If you had Mad Dog Conley not using his chain and you went to Vegas and you put down $700 on a $200,000 bet because I would have bet you my whole house that he used his chain in Vegas, and he did not use his chain.
So there was another match that he had, I believe it was Effie's Big Gay Brunch. And that match looked like it was really fucking crazy and good. So maybe he was saving himself for that match.
Who was he wrestling in that match?
Why do you ask me these questions? I don't know.
We're the indie wrestling guy.
Somebody. He wrestled somebody, obviously. Let me see. Give me a second.
Somebody. Listen.
A person.
Put him in anybody.
He wrestled a person in Las Vegas. Brick Savage.
Oh yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Brick Savage. Oh.
Yeah. Our buddy Paul sent us a bunch of clips of that, and it looked really fucking sick. So
I think the last match of the night should have been the Manders Paul Walter Hauser match, because having Mad Dog tap out to it looked like a front, almost like a front rear naked choke. I mean, not a rear naked, a guillotine, front guillotine. I mean, come on, man. Battle Arts rules. Battle Arts sucks. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm messing around. I don't know. I would have loved to have seen Mad Dog push this a little further, but as I was watching, I saw the timing running out, and I'm like, wait a minute, did they not finish this match and they cut it before the match ended? And then it ended so abruptly, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, this is over? Everybody's going home? And everybody got up and left as soon as that match was over. It was like the crowd was in and out. And that was the end. So, oh boy.
well, what do you want to rate this?
I have to give you guys some points because you're wrestling. It was such a tough environment because of that tiny ring and the situation. So I'm going to go with 2.25 out of 5. 2.25 out of 5 inches, which is how high the ring was from the ground.
I'm going to give it 2 thunderclaps out of 5.
Sorry, man. Matt, the card looked amazing. It's just the execution, and that's not your fault. But how much can these guys are expected to do in front of that crowd with that tiny ring? Just made it all, and the sound and everything else. So
here's what we're gonna do, because this one was such a flop, and it really wasn't your fault. Next week we're going to review another one of your shows that actually was from your home area on that following Friday, and I believe it was your anniversary show. Let me see. Yeah, Better 8 Than Never. So it was your 8th anniversary show from the community center in Tyrone, Georgia, your hometown. Nice. Darian Bankston going against Kevin Koo, Tim Bosby and Slim J going up against each other. A Tyrone street fight with Bomi South, including Alex Kane and Jay Lucas and Teriyaki against The Good Hand, Jameson Shook, a bunch of other people. So that we're going to check out for next week to try to, give a more fair representation of what action actually is, because the Vegas shows can be a mishmash of things. It's always a very mixed bag. And of course, unfortunately, you had the distinct disadvantage of a really shit building, a shit ring, and shit technicians working the show that I guess maybe it's not their fault, but damn, did they not know what they were doing apparently, or whatever. I don't understand what happened. It was bad all the way around bad, and it wasn't your fault.
Yep.
So next week, action. Better 8 Than Never. Check that out if you want to know what we're talking about next week. Plugs. IW Guide trading cards are available now. I just confirmed all the photos and information for the next series of cards, Series 6. It will feature 2 women's wrestlers. It will feature a tag team, and it will feature the IW Guide champion, Zay Garcia, with the title, and another wrestler that I'm not going to name yet. So be prepared for that. The first double women's cards in a pack. We're starting to pump out a lot of the women's talent in wrestling. It's going to be awesome. I'm super stoked for it.
One day we'll get a perv deck. They'll be all women for the pervs out there.
That's going to be the Kiss card ones, and we're going to charge like $100 a pack for it.
I like that, actually. That's a great idea. All right. JGold12 on Twitter and Instagram. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Twitter handle IWGuide1, YouTube.com IWGuide, Patreon.com/IWGuide. Don't forget about the merch store over Brainbuster Tees, Gorilla Press Apparel. I think this summer, Butters, I think you and I will sit down and we'll look up we'll try to find some fun merch. Maybe we could do incorporate the cards onto shirts.
I reached out to somebody to start making us some shirts because they worked on some really cool shirts that didn't look like a wrestling shirt, but had I want an IW Guide shirt that's just like a cool design, but doesn't really have IW Guide a ton on it, but it's mixed in there somewhere. Because I know this guy, he did these ones that have prestige wrestling and they have all these cool lucha stuff built around it, but then it's a prestige wrestling shirt. So I was maybe he could do something similar with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Haven't heard back, but he says his commissions are open, but I haven't heard anything. And then maybe I'll look and see about getting us some shorts. We'll do some shorts.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. Really good quality shorts would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Our podcast friends, we are part of the Main Event Wrestling Network, Wrestling Junkies, On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, Tino's Time, Blog World Order, and the NXT Night Shift. My show at 10:10 on Tuesdays. It's live. At Odds with Wrestling, the card is going to change. Super Fantastic Podcast, Marks with Mikes. Our other friends, Monsters in the Toy Box, Toy Hio, Rubber City Toys, Neopro Wrestling, OKCR Creations, Stash Pages, and Pally's Beef Jerky, who, by the way, the June show, it's called Weekend at Pally's, and it's picture Kaplan and Bernie's half dead with Dom and Wes holding him up. It's awesome. Yes. So that's fun. So that's all I got. Another good week. Matt, we love you. We'll do next week's as well, buddy.
Life's short. Watch more indie wrestling.
Don't forget to review and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Find us online at Facebook and Instagram at the Indie Wrestling Guide, and on X or Twitter at IWGuide1.